Good morning. My name is Michael Rivera, and today I'll be going over Chapter 2 for the evolution of implementation of adapted physical education. We're going to be focusing on exploring historical advancements, current practices, and research insights on inclusive physical education for students with disabilities. Now, when focusing on introducing special education, adapted physical education, this chapter will outline the fundamental principles of special education and adapted physical education, focusing on their critical role in ensuring adequate access and opportunities for students with disabilities to participate fully in educational and physical activities. Now, when focusing on the historical evolution of services in special education, we're looking at a timeline showcasing the significant milestones and changes in the provision of special education services over the years. When looking at the start, we look at 1975, which is a critical year as the Education for All Handicapped Children's Act, or Public Law 94142, enacted, ensuring free, appropriate public education for children with disabilities. In 1990, the Individuals with Disability Education Act, or IDEA, is reauthorized, expanding the definition of disabilities and emphasizing inclusion in educational settings. In 2004, IDEA is updated to improve educational outcomes, promoting a focus on accountability and ensuring that students with disabilities have access to a general curriculum. 2015 Every Student Succeeds Act, or ESSA, is passed, reinforcing the commitment to educational equity for all students, including those with disabilities. Now, some federal mandates and rights of students with disabilities. We have the IDEA Act, we have anti-discrimination protections, and commitment to inclusion education. Now, with IDEA guaranteeing educational rights, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA, mandates that students with disabilities are entitled to a free, appropriate public education tailored to their individual needs, ensuring that they receive necessary support and services in both the general and special education settings. But as special education teachers, we try to keep every student in a general setting to ensure inclusivity. When anti-discrimination protections, or Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act, prohibits discrimination based on disability, granting students the right to accommodations that ensure they can fully participate in educational programs alongside their peers. That inclusion aspect is what we're really trying to focus on here. Now, the commitment to inclusive education, the Every Student Succeeds Act, or ESSA, reinforces the commitment to inclusive education, requiring states to develop plans that address the needs of students with disabilities to promote their academic success. Now, when understanding inclusion education, inclusion is the practice of integrating students with disabilities into general education classrooms to foster participation and engagement. Now, with keeping students in a general classroom setting, you're promoting that social aspect, you're promoting that consistent engagement, you're including that feeling that students feel included inside of a classroom that provides the best educational experience possible. This approach not only supports the educational needs of students with disabilities, but also enhances the learning environment for all students, promoting diverse and mutual respect. Effective inclusion strategies include collaborative teaching, tailored instructional methods, and the use of adapted resources to ensure that every student can participate fully in activities, especially in physical education. Now, we focus on enhancing social skills, improving physical development, and fostering sense of belief when we've put the rationale for inclusion in physical education. So, enhancing social skills. Inclusion in physical education promotes social skills that encourages students with and without disabilities to interact, share experiences, and build friendships through teamwork and cooperative activities. Improving physical development. So, participation in physical activity contributes to the physical development for all students, helping them improve their motor skills, fitness levels, and overall health, regardless of their abilities. Foster sense of belonging. Inclusive physical education fosters a sense of belonging among all students, creating an environment where everyone feels valued and accepted, which can lead to improved self-esteem and confidence. Some strategies to improve inclusivity in physical education include some of the following: differentiated instruction methods, utilization of adaptive equipment, peer support initiatives, fostering an inclusive environment. So now looking at the research insight on inclusion in physical education from 2005 to 2014, research has indicated key benefits of inclusion in physical education, such as enhancing student engagement and improved social interactions among peers. However, challenges are present still, including the need for effective training for educators and appropriate resources to support diverse learners. Understanding their insight is critical for developing effective inclusion strategies that promote equitable participation for all students. Now, when we say that, we're talking more so about making sure that all students are included because it enhances the social skills, like we said before, and also they feel like they're not left out of some of the sports that other students may participate in as well, in general PE class settings. Some challenges of inclusion. Inclusion in physical education faces several challenges, including a lack of adequate training for educators, insufficient resources and equipment, and varied levels of support from administration, which can hinder effective implementation. Some benefits of inclusion. Despite these challenges, inclusion provides numerous benefits, such as enhanced social skills among students with disabilities, increased physical activity levels, and the promotion of a more inclusive school culture that values diversity and participation for all. Now, with solutions for effective inclusion practices, we have three: professional development for educators, collaboration with specialists, and ongoing assessment of student needs. Now, professional development for educators, we're focusing on professional development programs, equipping educators with the necessary skills and knowledge to effectively include students with disabilities in physical education settings. These programs should focus on adaptive teaching strategies and inclusive practices. With collaboration with specialists such as occupational and physical therapists ensures that teachers have access to expert advice and resources that are tailored to specific needs of students with disabilities. That means we're looking at students as individuals, making sure we're meeting their individual needs to feel included inside the PE setting. Ongoing assessment of student needs. Ongoing assessment of student needs is critical for adapting physical activities to ensure every student's participation. Regular feedback from students and families can help refine inclusion strategies and enhance engagement. So, also that community involvement, making sure you're constantly keeping communication with parents, making sure you're understanding what the student needs in order for them to succeed as an individual. Advocating for a more inclusive future in physical education. So, continued advocacy and research are essential to enhance inclusion practices in physical education. By focusing on the needs of students with disabilities, educators can develop more effective strategies to ensure equitable access to physical activity and support overall student development. The evolution implementation of adapted PE. So now I'm going to give an overview on the key developments and milestones of adapted physical education, addressing the diverse needs of students. This is another overview like we did before early in the presentation, but I want to make sure this is habitual practice to ensure all students understand the importance of these laws. Now, 1975, the Education for All Handicapped Children Act, Public Law 94142 is enacted, ensuring students with disabilities receive access to education, including physical education. So we're making sure all students have at least access to physical activity in some form of way in our school settings. 1990, the Individuals with Disability Education Act, or IDEA, is reauthorized, emphasizing the importance of developing adaptive physical education as part of a free and appropriate public education. Now, focus on free and appropriate public education. That is the key phrase when you realize the term IDEA. 2004 IDEA is amended to require that students with disabilities be included in general physical education classes whenever possible, promoting inclusion. That's when that inclusion portion started to occur in our settings. 2011, the National Association for Sport and Physical Education publishes guidelines for adaptive physical education outlining best practices for implementation. 2014, research highlights the benefits and challenge of adaptive physical education, paving the way for improved strategies and practices in schools. Now, based on the end, Chapter 2, the evolution of implementation and adaptive physical education, we explored historical achievements, current practices, and research insight on inclusive physical education for students with disabilities. Now, remember these key phrases. We have IDEA, we have all of these mandated laws that ensure that students are included in a general physical education setting no matter what. They get free appropriate practices. You want to make sure you understand that, and you want to make sure that we are looking at our students as individuals to make sure we're meeting their individual needs as adapted physical education teachers, and also providing adapted physical education teachers who are certified and have a background in this setting to give the best educational experience possible. Thank you. Have a good day.